Okay, what can you tell us about the new season? What can we expect?
Darkness.
Okay, awesome.
Darkness, and having to deal with that. Lighting a candle in the darkness.
Okay, what does that mean for Dean?
Finding a match.
Awesome. We've seen so many different aspects of Dean throughout the years. Has there been any that are your favorite to play?
Demon Dean was pretty fun last year, and it was, there's always been Dean. You know, whether it's been a version of Dean, it's always been Dean, and it's never been a completely different, like a twisted soul version. So it was kind of a totally different character that I'd never played, and getting to do that and getting to have just little touches of Dean into a different character was challenging, but it was a lot of fun.
Is there a version of Dean you want to play in the next season or future?
Yeah, the one that lays on the beach.
What, both of you just want to go to Hawaii?
Is that too much to ask?
All right, let's say you guys go to Hawaii. Is the Impala coming on like a boat with you?
Well, Dean would go on the boat with the Impala.
Okay.
Because Dean doesn't like to fly.
Right.
So I don't know why we can't do a nice full episode on a big container ship.
Yeah.
And then the container ship, it's Ghost Ship.
Done.
Boom.
Next season. I'm
Next
so
season.
excited. Thank
Season
you so
12,
much.
Ghost Ship.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay.
I can tell you what I know, which is not a lot, but I know that the darkness is coming and it's arrived, and the boys are kind of caught off guard, as they so often are. They don't know what's going on, but they, this year, which is really exciting to me, they are dedicated to fighting it together, you know, so they're on the same page. We've had a few, you know, we've had Sam with Demon Blood, and then we've had Soulless, and then we've had the Lucifer deal, and then we've had the Mark of Cain, but now it feels like the boys are back in action. They're back in the Impala, working together, and so I'm super excited about it.
Yeah. As you said, we've had Sam in all these different situations.
Yeah.
What was the most fun to play?
God, it's a split between Soulless Sam and powerful Demon Blood Sam. Because you can't help but, like, I remember there was one scene where Sam just kind of goes like that and like all these demons fall, and it's all these fine stunt actors, and so you see all these guys and they can all kick your butt, but when they call action you go like this and they fall and you're like, that kind of feels cool. You feel like you have the force or something. So that was a lot of fun to play, but also Soulless Sam was quite a joy.
That's awesome. Is there something you want to see Sam do now that he's done all these great things?
I'd love to see him go to Hawaii. Take up spearfishing or something and just get sunburned.
Retire or just go to...
No, there's bound to be some sort of Maui demon or ghost or something that the Winchester brothers can... No, in all honesty, I'm very happy to be an actor. And to that end, I try not to expect too much or guide the storyline. I just am sort of taking it as it comes, much like Sam. You know, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm fine with that because, you know, you can't control life.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Much.
Next season's going to be darker. We're going from bad to worse. What can you tell us?
We are now confronting a pre-biblical force of evil called the darkness that even angels thought was just a scary bedtime story, didn't know that it was real. And it is going to be a very, very powerful foe for the boys to fight. And I think it's going to bring us all together and unify us against this enemy.
Yeah. And we get to see all sorts of different, mythologies throughout the show, throughout all the seasons. Is there a mythology that you're looking forward to seeing, hopefully, one day?
Like what? Do you have any ideas?
I mean, I personally like Israeli mythology, but that's because I'm Israeli.
I don't know much about Israeli mythology.
I mean, it tends to overlap with
it's like first
biblical,
like Old Testament stuff, right?
But there's other stuff.
There's other stuff. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think one of the rules, as far as I know, in the writers' room, is that any mythology that they draw on, any monster that the boys are fighting, is always something that is Googleable. So it's something that there is an existing lore about, and they're not making anything up that's completely from scratch. So there's always a seed in existing mythology for the storylines that come up in Supernatural, and I think that's one of the things that makes it really compelling, because we're dealing with mythologies that are already in our collective consciousness in one way or another. But yeah, I'm with you. Let's do Israeli mythology.
We know next season's going to be darker. We're going to go from bad to worse. What can you tell us?
Very little. I'm dead.
All right. But won't we have some? I mean, death is not death on Supernatural.
Well, it can be. I mean, like, you also had a complication of Jeremy having decided to get rid of death.
Right.
We have no bridge now between. I mean, people are still going to die, and the souls still need to be collected, but there's no death to intervene or decide or determine. So it could be very interesting where this goes.
Especially for Crowley, because if anyone's going to figure out how to fix that problem, I feel like Crowley's the one.
I don't know. You never know what I'm going to be doing.
Awesome.
He's the guy you have to ask. That's the problem.
All right. Well, what can you tell us?
Very little. I've got no info at all. Being a dead man is never a good thing.
Yeah. All right. If you had your dream scenario next season for Crowley, what would you want to see?
I don't write fan fiction.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. Let's talk about the new season of Supernatural. We know it's going to be darker. We're dealing with the darkness. And we know it's going from bad to worse, which sounds impossible, but it's Supernatural. So who knows? What can you tell us?
Well, I think there's going to be a certain element of mystery here at the beginning of the season. Who is the darkness? What does the darkness want? What is the darkness capable of? And some of the things the boys are going to learn, I think, are from in terms of bad to worse that sort of rattle them. Well, one of them is they're not the only ones who are sort of wondering what the heck is going on here with the darkness. I think angels and demons, excuse me, are proving to be pretty fearful of this thing as well. So that's a bit alarming to the boys. We can't comment on that, Misha.
That was a question about Claire.
Yeah. And then there's the boys are sort of like very united in two ways. Number one, there's not a lot of finger pointing here in terms of you released the darkness, I didn't. They both realize they played a part in this, and so they're very much united in their desire to defeat it, which is it's a very empowering and nice thing to see, place to see the boys in. It's not to say it's not going to be without hiccups and obstacles, but it's a starting place. So that's my.
All right, what can you tell us about Crowley? What is the situation with Crowley? Because no one's really dead.
The situation is, it's hard to say. I can't remember what I was supposed to say about that one.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for talking to us today.
Much.
We know darkness is coming.
Yes.
We know it's going from bad to worse.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Well, I think what we're looking at is, for the first time in a few years, we're looking at kind of a big apocalyptic event. And we think it's going to be really fun to kind of dive into something big and epic and world-spanning like that in a way that we've done previously, certainly season 5 of the Apocalypse with Leviathans. But we haven't really done so much lately, because we've been more focused on kind of character-based stories, which we still are. Like, the characters make the show, and that's why people show up, and that's why the fans are here. But giving them a big nuclear bomb to react to, I think, is going to kind of spin them off in different ways. They're going to react in ways that I think fans are going to be very happy with and surprised by, and I'm sure some fans will be horribly, horribly disappointed in, but that's the nature of writing. So yeah, I think that's, the real fun we're having with the darkness.
Yeah, I know the fans love this show. I think even when they're unhappy, they still love it.
Yeah.
And I know you guys do such crazy, fun episodes with, Back in Time and Breaking the Fourth Wall and all that great stuff. What can we look forward to? Do you have anything special planned for this season?
Yeah, I don't want to tip it too far, but I will say that episode 4 of this season it's not quite meta in Breaking the Fourth Wall, but it has a really cool conceit that I think the fans really love. It's a Robbie Thompson episode, and I know that means a lot to our fan base. He's an awesome writer, and I think he really delivers with this, and it's very, very cool.
Awesome. Is there anything from previous episodes, because we had a retrospective, that was your favorite episode so far?
Of the show entirely?
Yeah.
The show entirely, my favorite episode is Changing Channels, which is Jeremy Carver's episode, which I thought did a great job of walking the line between serious drama, kind of big myth, It was really funny. I mean, those episodes are incredibly hard to do, and especially if you've done a few of them, it's always hard to do more. But you know, when you nail it, and I would say like the French Mistake did it as well. I would say that the 200th episode did it as well. When you nail them, the convention episode we did many years ago that Kripke wrote, I thought did it really well. I think when you do those and really nail them, they really have a great reach, and the fans really like them. And like I say, they're hard to do, and we can muster one a season, maybe less. But when we can do them, they're always the most fun.
Awesome. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you. Yes, definitely.